Right, so as of uploading this video, episode 6 is out in less than 24 hours, and we're finally going to get some answers to the central questions set up in this show. But that also means this episode is going to be confusing as all hell. And if you haven't dumped hundreds of hours into dissecting the lore of the series like me, you might be a little bit confused. So this video is going to be a recap of everything important that's happened over the last few episodes leading up to this moment, as well as my prediction for what we're going to see at the bottom of that elevator. Let's get into it. Starting all the way back in episode 3, we get our first real idea of what's going to be happening in this series, with the actions of Dol. Dol is a chronic user of the Absolute Solver, and as such has developed several unhealthy habits to allow her to keep using it, such as brutally murdering her fellow drones. Episode 3 suggests that her main reason for being here and using these powers is so that she can get back at V for killing her parents. But one line of dialogue at the end of episode 3 suggests that there might be something else going on.
Тебе. Жаль. Если я найду то, что ищу, то и тебе помогу. What?
Seems kinda odd, doesn't it? Dol is willingly using the Absolute Solver powers a lot, and really doesn't seem to have a problem with killing her fellow drones. But apparently she's looking for something to help herself and Uzi, and that's where our central question comes in. What is Dol looking for, and where is it? The answer to part A of that question is fairly obvious. Dol is looking for a cure for the Absolute Solver. This suggests that she doesn't intentionally go out to try and use it, or at least didn't know of the consequences of doing so when she first started. Also, it looks like the Solver has damaged her to a very severe degree, given that she is immediately willing to help Uzi once she recognizes that Uzi has it, despite the fact that Dol was in the process of shooting her when that discovery was made. We also get another piece of information about how much the Solver has damaged Dol in episode 5, with her button eye patch which is covering her right eye, suggesting that either the eye is permanently locked in the Solver position, or is damaged in a way that cannot be repaired by Solver abilities, meaning that the Solver must have caused the damage in the first place. What we don't yet know is what form this cure for the Solver is in. Our only clue to this is in the episode 6 teaser, but we'll get back to that. Now for the real meat of this video. Episode 4. This is our biggest indicator of what's going to happen in this new episode because they both take place in Camp 98.7. In episode 4, we see Uzi find the robo-roach that is linked to her collar and gives her the option to call an elevator, if placed in the right spot. Dol also learns about this as she is watching Uzi throughout the episode and realizes that the roach is the key to finding the cure for the Solver that she's looking for. Problem is that Dol doesn't know what the right location is either, so even if she went and took the roach right then, she wouldn't be able to do anything with it. Fortunately for her, someone has just arrived on Copper 9 who does know where the right place is. Tessa was sent to Earth after the events of the pilot and has been sent to provide maintenance to the drones. As a JC Jensen technician, she has knowledge of all their facilities on Copper 9, including that of the elevator and the facility it's connected to. We don't yet know what Tessa's motivation for going down there is, but we do know that she has one as she's asked Dol to get the roach, which is referred to as a key. This meetup happened between episodes 4 and 5 and led to Dol confronting Uzi on her exploration of En's memories as they realised their shared goal was to get to the elevator. It also prompted Uzi, En and V to chase after Dol, leading to the end of episode 5. There is also one more mystery here that I have absolutely no answers for so far, and that is this hand that can be seen for a split second in episode 4. I have absolutely no leads on this, but it may come into play at some point, so it's good to know it's there. We first get shown the elevator that I've been going on about for the last couple minutes, which is done in the same old-timely style that we see the Elliot Manor in. We then get to take a look at all of the floors of this underground facility in reverse order from bottom to top, so let's go through all of them. Starting at the bottom, we've got this unnecessarily long hallway connected to a largely empty warehouse-type building, and is scattered with murder drone corpses. The next floor is pretty much the same, except now we have solid evidence that this is a JC Jensen facility, which leads to the question of why Nori had access to it. We also have some schizophrenic writing on the wall that says "don't" over and over again. The next floor looks like a typical, if slightly old-fashioned, office space that we get a better look at in one of the teaser images, which shows that it has been scratched up and mangled by whatever creature we can see here. It looks like some sort of robotic reptile, but we can't be sure just yet. For some reason, we then get a human baby noise moving up to the next floor, which shows more of that office space, along with some worker drones that are connected to my Wi-Fi. We then get another reference to whatever the reptile creature is in this next room, which looks like it houses some sort of supercomputer or server bank, because this is a large company, so keeping people's personal information is obviously a necessity. Our next room is disguised as two separate areas in the teaser for some reason. It contains various security cameras manned by some very tired worker drones. These monitors can be seen in the next shot, where we get a laugh from a character that we can only assume is going to act as the villain for this episode, given the large amount of spilled oil and surgical equipment here. My only two ideas for who this person could be is either Nori, Uzi's mum, or a serial designation S that can be seen named on this piece of paper here. Finally, we get a pan up the elevator shaft to our core 3, with them looking very scared and the other two looking more determined or angry. The camera then lunges towards them and glitches to black. As of writing this script, we also have some interesting information in the form of one of the other teaser images, that being a collection of murder drones core heart thingies, like the one we saw jump out of Eldritch J at the end of episode 2. Now for my theory on what the hell this place is. Given the ideas of surgical equipment and storing hearts in jars that Glitch has given us, as well as the zombie drone tapes we saw near this place in episode 4, I think we're pretty safe to assume that at least part of this facility was used to disassemble drones, using the process that is shown in the episode 5 tape. This is backed up by the piece of paper that Uzi finds in episode 4, that has this odd looking claw wedged inside of it. The claw and scratch marks line up perfectly with what we saw in the teaser for the new episode, meaning that this mark for this assembly form has been in contact with our reptilian friend down there. The presence of the disassembled murder drones is what's confusing me though. Up until this point we've been relatively confident that the murder drones were made on Earth, and shipped to Compa 9 by rockets after everything had been unintentionally evacuated. But the fact that there are murder drones here, and in such large amounts, suggests that either A, the murder drones are built here and just launched around the planet by pods, or B, something has been luring the murder drones down here and disassembling them instead. But that just leaves one more question. Heading down,